Topic is why you should learn the best thing called Laravel. Okay, so yes, everyone is here just because of Laravel. So I think the point is why you are here, why you want to listen a talk where you just want to learn how you, where you just want to listen how you want to learn Laravel, because you already know Laravel, you are because of Laravel here. So before proceeding, let me tell you, I'm not going to tell you something new. It's like Hennes has given you some new information. I'm not going to give you all new things, but what I make sure that I will give you something to take from this talk, and when you go back to your office, your workplace, you can just tell your friends that, hey, do you know this about Laravel, do you know that about Laravel. You can just show off the things. Okay, but jokes apart, the important point of having this talk is that you need to inspire those people who just want to land on the world of framework and just want to learn and Laravel. So those people can be your friend, your colleague, your junior developer, even your mom, dad, girlfriend, or even your dog. Okay, and that's okay, but you are not going to tell them about the service container, the inversion of control, facades. No. What you have to tell them that what Laravel can do and why it is fun to learn Laravel. And the most important thing is that Laravel always take care about you, the developer. So all in all, what you are trying to say is that why you should learn the best thing called Laravel. Okay? From this statement kind of title, I have figured out two things. One is learn, second is best. So let's talk about best first, but before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Sarthak Shrivastava, and basically, by education wise, I am an electrical engineer. That means I don't have any degree in programming or computer science. Okay, and this means, yeah. Oh, great! Thanks for the company. Okay, this means I don't have any degree in programming, and yes, I have learned everything from internet, from YouTube, and from everyone else. And yes, by profession, I am doing, apart from physics, I do web development, and I'm an instructor also. And you can follow me on Twitter at Bitfumes, YouTube at Bitfumes, Facebook at Bitfumes, everywhere at Bitfumes. But what exactly Bitfumes is? Bitfumes is my small company in the city of Lake called Bhopal, and we do web development and education stuffs. And that's why I have a channel called Bitfumes on YouTube. So if you don't know about this channel, just go watch any of the video, and if you like it, just hit like button. If you don't like it, just tell me the problem, or because as I told you, I don't have any degree in programming, so maybe I have done something wrong. I always have a fear of this, that I have something wrong. So please comment me there, I will change that and I will learn from you. Okay, so let's get back to the best part. Okay, so before Laravel, I used to work with CI, the code igniter, and life was good, but one day my friend told me that, hey, do you know a framework? It's a best framework. I don't know its name, but you need to check out that. So I said, okay. So I opened Google, and then I typed this. And obviously the first result was Laravel. Then I learned that and used that, and after using, I realized that yes, it is the best framework. And that's why I call it best. Okay, but the point is where I have learned the Laravel. So all the way from the documentation and some of the YouTube video. But from this, we have come to the second part, the learn part. Mahatma Gandhi once said, live as if you were to die tomorrow and learn as if you were to live forever. And Benjamin Franklin always tell me, I forgot. Teach me, I may remember, but involve me, I learn. And this is the important point, I learn. But these two quotes are just complementing each other, and the point they want to tell is that if you want to master a thing, you need to involve on that, and if you involve in something, involve in learning something, it takes lots of time, and everyone know that to create awesome thing, we need to have all things, we need to learn various things. And what if I can tell you that there is something which can do everything for you, you just have to put your logic in it and everything is set up, you have awesome thing, which is Laravel. So I think we have almost many of you here, and some of engineers also. Have you seen this? This is a monologue from a movie Pyar Ka Panchnama, and in this monologue there was a line, a happy woman is a myth, and sorry for women, but a happy woman is a myth. But before learning Laravel, I used to think like that, a happy developer is a myth. But when I learned Laravel, I realized that, okay, this is not the case. And so with the women's also. Okay, so when after this, when I learned Laravel, I was searching something related to Laravel. Then I came to know the philosophy of Laravel, and which is developer happiness from download to deploy. This is very important. You can see this. The philosophy is that you can you don't have to worry about from download to deploy. So what I am going to tell you in this talk. In this talk, I am going to tell you about Laravel awesomeness. And this is just beyond code. What I mean is that developing things with Laravel is good, but what about other things which it's not considered as coding purpose, which means like why you learn Laravel, when you are coding something, when you are creating something with Laravel, what are the fun part? Why you will stick with Laravel? So let's first talk about the deploy drama. Why I call it drama, you will see in just a few minutes. But deploying Laravel is very easy. Just put your project on the server, connect to database, and it is done. Yes? No. It is not the simple case. You know, there is various steps involved. So hold your breath, it is going to be interesting because I'm going to tell you steps involved, and let's start. First, you need to buy a good server from a good company like DigitalOcean, Linode, or Amazon Web Server. Then you have an empty server. Then you need to install Nginx and Apache on that. Then you need to install PHP, PHP, and related steps. Then you need to install MySQL, then git, unzip, zip, various things. So installation part is done, but still you have the project on GitHub. Then you need to connect your server to GitHub and clone the repository on your server. That means now you have the project on your server, but then you need to run the composer in it. But to run the composer, you need composer itself. So go and install that first on your server, and after you have, just change .env.example file to .env file, and then run php artisan key generate command. And remember, we have installed MySQL. Yes, now you need to set up the database, configure the database, then run php artisan migrate to have all the migration, all the table on your database. But even after doing all these things, your project will not going to work. You know why? Because you have not configured your Nginx. So first learn that, then do that, and then your project will run. Okay, so this is good. But even after this is not the end. You know why? Because a project needs updates, and whenever you update, you just push your update to GitHub repository, and for every update you need to have a git pull, and this is not good. For every update I need to go to server, SSH into that and have a git pull. No. And remember, if you have a sensitive information of user on your website, on your project, like credit card information, then you need to have a SSL certificate. So go and install that first. And even if you have this kind of website where you have lots of users, you need to send email, and you know, sending email takes time, and for that Laravel has QWorker. So go and install QWorker on that. And if you have this kind of website, you need scheduling, and for scheduling you need to configure cron job, and after that you need to have a team, because you cannot handle your project alone. You need to set up the team on that. But if you have a team, every member can deploy on the server, and for each deploy you need to have information about that. So you need to configure your server according to that, and then you have to configure deployment notification. And these all things, when you update something, what if there is update of software like PHP update, MySQL update, you need to have these things. All these things takes lots of time, and these 20 steps are not easy to do. And that's why Laravel have an awesome thing, again an awesome thing called Laravel Forge. So what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to focus on deploying things. You don't have to focus. Laravel philosophy, just focus on the core part of development. Don't worry about else things. Okay, so this is good. And you know, Forge is considered as painless PHP server. You know, I think you get the point why it is called painless. Lots of pain. I just speaking that 20 points, and that's also a pain. So that's why it's a painless PHP server. And it's actually not a server, it's just a layer between you and your server. You can manage all these things just with the clicks. You can configure all these things. I have just point out these things. So these are the Forge and deployment drama. But let's come to front end. Yes, Laravel is a PHP framework. That means it's a backend framework. So what we have to do with front end? To create an awesome website, awesome application, the role of front end is as important as the role of backend. So we need to have knowledge of both of these things. But again, if you want to get knowledge of everything, it takes time. You cannot master one thing. So Laravel provide these things. And with the Laravel 5.3, I think, the Taylor introduced us with Vue.js. At that time, Vue.js was not so famous, but now it is quite famous. And he introduced with this, a JavaScript framework. You don't have to worry how you can connect, how you can integrate your JavaScript framework to your Laravel. So that's the important part of Laravel 5.3. But after that, I think Taylor realized that, okay, this is good, but we need to test. We always test our PHP code, like with PHP units. We need to test this thing, the JavaScript behavior. Then with the 5.4, Laravel does came out. With this, you can test your JavaScript behavior like click event. You can open modal and just test you can assert whatever you want to have. Then after that, as the time passes, the JavaScript frameworks evolved out and Reacts become popular. So Taylor think that, okay, I need to have that on Laravel, but we also have Vue.js. So how can we have two frameworks? So he give us the option to choose between these two. Then that's why we have a command PHP artisan preset and React. If you want to use React, then use this command. Then React will be your integrated JavaScript framework. But every front end must have some styling part. So for styling, Bootstrap has always been the partner for Laravel. But again, with 5.6, Bootstrap 4 came, and this was update. So what I'm trying to do with what I'm trying to say with this slides is that you don't have to again worry about the front end and what technologies are evolving around and what JavaScript frameworks becoming popular. You don't have to worry about. Everything is taken care by Laravel. You just have to focus on your main part, the development part. After that, artisan action. Why I call it action? Because we always love action. Whenever in the movie action comes, we get energized. And yes, artisan help us in having lots of things in one go. you know, creating things is not so important. Creating things is not so important, but how you create is the most important part. So yes, you can create a class in a PHP. Creating a class in a PHP is best practice, but creating a same class for every project is not a best practice. So with this artisan command, you can create more than one file or more than one classes in one go. This means you can have, like, if you want to create a model, then you can create corresponding migration, controller, and factories in one go. Then if you don't want to do all these things, you just want to create a controller, it's not a problem, because you can create the controller with the PHP artisan make controller command. But after that you realize that, okay, so I think we need some CRUD related functions on this controller. So then we have the resource controller. We can create that resource controller, and resource controller has two functions, which is like, one is create and other is edit. These two functions are just going to return the view so that user can interact with your app. But if you are creating API, we don't want these two. So with the API, you can create a API resource controller, which has the all CRUD related functions, but not these two, create and edit. But this is not the end. This is not the exciting part. The exciting part of artisan is that you can create your own artisan command, and we can create that, and I will show you that. Let's go to VS Code I have here, and here you can see, if I type PHP artisan, to create an artisan command, we will use again a artisan command. So PHP artisan make command, and command name is say. Okay, so now we have this, and if I go to my app folder, we have this console, and I think what happened with this, let me start VS Code once more. Okay, yes, this time, yeah, I have this. So you can see we have this command folder, and say.php. I have just created this file by using artisan command again. So here you can just define the signature. Signature is just like how you call the artisan command. So I will say here like bitfumes, then colon say, easy one, and then command description is like say something. And what I'm going to do in this handle method, I'm first going to get the name. So I will say this arrow ask, and ask is what is your name. Okay, close the line, and then I will say this arrow info, and here is like, okay, I love you too, and then the name. Okay, so you can see now if I say PHP artisan, and we have the list of all artisan commands, but this time if we scroll up, yeah, you can see here we have this bitfumes say. Okay, so let's use this command, so we will see what it will going to do. So PHP artisan bitfumes colon say, and hit enter, and it's asking for the name. So let's give the name first, and yes, I love you too, Sarthak. Okay, really? Okay, thank you. Okay, but this is the way you can create the artisan command. So this is just the demo that yes, you can create an artisan command, but after this, when you create your artisan command, and when you want to create artisan command, yes, you have certain thing in your project. So like you are creating your file in every project, or in a single project you are creating same kind of file again and again and again. You can create an artisan command via right click, create, all these things. So that's why you have this artisan command, and when you create your artisan command and you have the magic of artisan, then you will feel like, yay. Okay, sorry, this is not the slide I want to show you, this one. Okay. Yeah, the present. Okay, so let's move on, the testing tool. Yes, testing tool is the most important part, because if you are not testing your code, you will like this. You want to do something, someone else did something, and then you will like, okay, what happened? How can I correct this? So why think? Why you need to think? Let this job to be done by Laravel. So for that, you need to write the tests for that. And yes, we always use PHP unit to test our PHP code. But as I have told you, Laravel Dusk is here with us to have the behavior, JavaScript behavior and testing of JavaScript behavior. So it's very easy to have this Laravel Dusk on the Laravel, because you just have to do this thing. That means you just have to get the Laravel Dusk via this command, and then you need to install Laravel Dusk on your project. Then for every test, when you have written the test, then you have to just run PHP artisan Dusk. It will test. So let's now test a Vue.js component and see how we can use Laravel Dusk. So again, go to VS Code, and here if I will say PHP again artisan and hit enter, you can see we have, I have already installed Laravel Dusk via Composer, so I don't need to do that. But yes, after installing that, I have this Dusk commands. So let's now install. So PHP, this is PHP artisan Dusk install. So what this command did, so if you open tests folder, you can see now we have this browser directory. So here in this browser directory, we have this example test.php file. That's good, and it is doing something. We will get on to this back, but for now what we're going to do, we will open our resources folder, asset.js component. Yes, we have this example component. So what I'm going to do, instead of this one, an example component, I will use name here, and let's define that name here. So it's like data, then it's going to return, and let's close it. Name is Sarthak. Okay, so we have this and we have used this. So let's use this component in our blade file. So we have this blade file, the welcome.blade, and just below, where is that? Just below this Laravel, I will use that example component. So example hyphen component. Okay, and this is done, but we need to have the script, that means the JS app.js file in it. So let's now use app.js. So script, okay, oops, and here comes our it's on JS file, so app.js file. We have this, and now let's run server. So PHP artisan serve. I'm not using Laravel Valet here because I think this is good for everyone. So we have this, and you can see example component, and it's not showing my name because now I need to run npm run watch. Okay, so while it's compiling everything, let's now go to our test file we have, and here I'm going to assert something. This time I'm going to assert view, and here I will say, okay, so assert view file and asserting name, and its value has to be Sarthak, and now we need to have the component name. So yes, we have component which is example, okay, example hyphen component. Okay, so this is good. So we have told that to Dusk that, okay, go to example component whenever this base URL hits on the browser, then go to this component, check name value, and if it is Sarthak, that's good. Okay, but how we will tell Dusk that which component we have to use, because Dusk is not a part of JavaScript or front-end things. So what we have to do, actually we have to tell our component on our blade file. We have described here this component, so we have to tell that this is a Dusk testable component and its name is example component. And yes, you can give any name you want, but it's good to have example component. That's okay. So we have this, So let's now try to run and see what will be the result. So remember, to run dusk test, we need to say php artisan dusk and hit enter, and it will fail. You know why? Because if I go to my .env file, my app URL is localhost, but the server I have started on this terminal is this one, 120.0.0.8000. So let's grab this one from here, paste it, and let's restart this server. Okay, and let's try to run our dusk, and this time it's green. So this is the way you can test your code. So what if I change something on my component? So if I say small r or small s here, and if I now try to run, it's definitely fail, which is like, yeah, expecting Sarthak with a capital S, but we are getting a small s. So this is the way you can test your dusk or your JavaScript behavior with dusk, the Laravel dusk. Okay, so again, what I'm trying to say with these things is that you want to test your JavaScript framework. Okay, don't worry about that. Laravel has given you the opportunity to test. You don't have to worry about how can I test, how can I actually set up the test environment. You don't have to worry about. Everything else is taken care by Laravel philosophy. Remember the philosophy, download to deploy, happiness from download to deploy. So let's use hide and seek. What is that meaning of that? So I think before that, everyone know this man, the great Stephen Hawking. I think on the 14th of last 14th he has passed away, but he is a great scientist and I always follow him and I have read many books of him. But he has given the theory of black hole. But what it has to relate it with Laravel? Let me tell you. But you know what he did before Hawking, many scientists has given theories related to black hole, but what he did, he just described things in a word which is easy to understand and easy to remember. So he just told that, okay, black hole is just a place where it's an enormous amount of gravity where even light cannot pass. That's the important part. So this is super easy to understand, and all the complexity he hides behind. And with this statement, it's super easy that yes, you need to hide the complexity, and you need to give the opportunity to your listener, to your user, to seek the importance or the easy to remember words. So that's why Laravel has various easy to remember functions like this one, redirect back, super easy. Then we have the user find one. You don't have to do like where ID, something like that. So this is the important part. Taylor has done so much great thing in it that you don't have to worry about these things. Just one time you will see that, okay, yeah, redirect back. It's super easy. And next time you want to redirect back, you will say redirect back. Then let's talk about the coolness of Laravel. You know, anyone has this kind of system in your comments, multi-line comments? You know this, what is this? For every line, you can see that the next line, the second line, this one is 3 letters less than the line above. Third line, 3 letters less, ICH. Don't worry about the exclamation sign. 3 letters less. And this is the web.php file. And if you see this is the services.php file in the config folder. See, the second line, SANE, and then 3 letters less, SUCH. So UCH, 3 words. Then again, don't consider that dot, 3 letters less, the last line, and the packages ANE. So sometimes you don't have to do something which is related to your work. It's just for fun, It's just for having some beauty on your work. So it's like, think about this. Taylor has given so much of time in just writing a comment, and what amount of time he has given to writing the whole framework. So that's the importance of having a great mentor like Taylor. So this is cool, and this is very nice related to Laravel. So if you want to use anything, there is packages of all the communities, but we have some official packages like Cashier for having for setting up the Stripe related or I think Braintree related subscription model. Then we have Envoy, then Horizon, Passport, and Scout for searching with the Algolia. Then Socialite is the most important package I have used various times, because you don't have to worry about how you can create the social login with Facebook, login with Google, login with GitHub, login with Twitter. The official has these 4, but if you want to go beyond this, just go to socialiteproviders.github.io. This website gives you tons of options to have on the social login, and I think if you even count these list or these providers on this list, it will take 1 or 2 minutes just for counting. So if you want to learn Laravel, yes, Laracast is way far. It's super easy to learn from the Laracast. I highly recommend you go subscribe to Laracast, and before subscribing, just go and watch free stuffs. And if you are feeling comfortable with Laravel, then subscribe to Laracast and get the best from Jeffrey Way. And if you want to learn what is framework and what is this Laravel, you can also go to youtube.com/bitfumes, my channel. And again, Jeffrey is good guy, and he has done lots and lots of work. I think 1,000+ videos he has. Super. Then let's talk about the time travel, and then we wrap up. So time travel on 2011, the Laravel website looks like this, just for fun. Then 2012, it's like something cool. Then 13, taking the shape. Then on the 14, looking better. And now we have 15 to 18, this look. So it is just a time travel for Laravel, and you can follow me on these things. So thank you.